What is up, you guys? This is the White Rabbit, and welcome to what is going to be the end of the year game rank. Now, we have played 45 games this year, 18 of which were on Xbox, 25 were from PlayStation, and 2 were from PC. Now, next year, maybe we'll get a lot more than that. But as for right now, we're at 45. And I am going to be doing the rankings of these games. So, first up, we got WWE 2K23. To be perfectly honest, I don't entirely remember 2K23. I want to say it was good, but not that memorable to me. So, I'm going to put it at B. 2K24 was an interesting one because this one... How do I even phrase this? This one had a whole lot of stuff that I think improved on a whole lot of stuff. Dang, had stories within stories. Like, the branching paths where you got to do all the, like, little side stories, got to be different monsters and whatnot. I think it was really good, so I'm gonna put it at S. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, for all the Assassin's Creed games, just S. They're amazing to me. Granted, some stuff is a bit dumb, like the dang book achievement or trophy in I want to say it was Revelations, where Ezio is an old man. Yeah, that one was dumb. Adventure Time, explore the dungeon because I don't know. I'm gonna put in D, just because there's, I don't know what it is, but there's something about dang dungeon crawlers I do and don't like. I can't say I don't like dungeon crawlers because I'm playing Diablo 3 and I like that game a lot. So, I don't know. There was just something about this game that I didn't like. Avatar, the game. Now, this is an interesting one. I'm going to put it at B because it wasn't horrible, but at the same time, it was... I don't even know what to describe it as. I did like that it gave you a branching choice where you got to pick whether you sided with the Avatar or the soldiers. In that aspect, I really liked it. And I got some funny comments during those videos, but you know, I'll put it at middle of the road, just because I could go either way on it. Bakugan Defenders of the Core. This game, being the first Bakugan game I've ever played, I'm gonna have to put it at S, just because it was such an amazing game. The idea that everyone else, if they lose their ability to play the game, was interesting to me, and I had to be the guy that could not lose. I had to be the guy ultimately had to win to save the world. Plus, there was a bit of strategy to go in with it, to like set up decoys that would distract certain types of enemies and all that. It was really cool. Baldur's Gate 3, you know, is going in S. I didn't necessarily get the ending that I wanted or, you know, thought I would end up getting. I really didn't want to do what I did. If you don't know what I did in Baldur's Gate 3, I suggest watching the series. If you do know, I didn't want to do that, but I sat at the one fight for several hours, actually, and then I just kind of did that as the literal last ditch thing. Batman Arkham Origins. I'm gonna put that at an A, actually. It wasn't perfect, but it was still a very good game. The idea that Batman had no idea who the Joker was is an interesting concept because that's something that tends to get a little overlooked, is the fact that Batman at one point had no idea who the Joker was. Had absolutely no earthly idea who the Joker was. And to introduce the Joker by taking out a giant threat in Black Mask and recruiting all the other villains was just a vastly interesting concept, and I really liked it. Ben 10, Protector of Earth. I'm going to put it at A. Now, it was a good game. Don't get me wrong. But it felt very limited as far as the aliens that you could use. Like, an OG alien that I really love is Ripjaws. I don't know why. I could not tell you why. I just love Ripjaws. And they didn't have him in the game. Granted, there wasn't any water levels, but Bleach Soul Resurrection, with resurrection spelt very weird. I'm also going to put this at A, because there were some parts that were just difficult that were not caught on camera, I don't think. Honestly, it felt like this game might have been the catalyst that branched off into, what is the mobile game? Bleach Brave Souls. It felt like this was the original Bleach Brave Souls. And I think me coming back to this game might have ruined that for me, just because I don't know, it felt odd to be like a third person Bleach Brave Souls. So yeah. Brutal Legend, I'm gonna put at B. It was a good game. There were just some bits of the story that didn't make sense to me, and it was just it was an okay game. I'll put it at the middle of the road. Like I said, it's an okay game. I would recommend playing it because it's Jack Black, but you know, it wasn't overly bad, but not overly amazing. Back to the Future, the game, I'm gonna put at A, because it felt like a whole different movie to the Back to the Future movies that we already have. However, that is also why I'm putting it at A, because it then vastly confused me to where that fits in with the movies, if it's even with the movies to go along with those. If it doesn't, that's fine. It also left off at a cliffhanger. So that's why I'm putting that at A. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm going to put it at B. It's a Call of Duty game. I hate to be one of the guys to say this. They're kind of all the same. Find the bad guy, or find your partner who's been taken captive, kill the bad guys, and save the world from war with a secret war. Captain America Super Soldier. I'm gonna put it A. Being a Captain America game, I did not expect how good it would be, I guess would be the phrase. Just the idea that going through all of Cap's journey through the whole war to get to Red Skull, to go through his arsenal of minions and stuff like that. It was an interesting concept, and I was there for it. Dragon Valor. Dragon Valor, I'm going to put at A, because that game, some aspects of that game broke me a little bit, but it was a good game. It doesn't get S tier because it broke me a bit, but it was a good game. So, you know what? No, that's not what I meant to do. I've broken everything. There we go. I meant to add one. Oh well, it doesn't matter. It gets a B, or it gets an A. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, I am gonna put at C. I couldn't tell you why. I just didn't really... I couldn't really get into the game. Same with Fallout 76. I couldn't get into the games. They weren't bad, but in my own opinion, I couldn't get into them. So, that's why they're at C for me. Fear, or First Encounter Assault Recon, I'm going to put at S. Is it clunky? Yes. Is it not up to modern times? Yes. Is it a good game? Yeah! God of War Ascension. I have a feeling all the God of War games I'm going to play are going to end up in the S tier. Just because they're amazing. The idea that Kratos is bound by a deal with that the Fates child are holding, and he has to find a way to break himself of this contract with them, is a fascinating idea. And I really loved God of War Ascension. Halo Reach, also S. Being... I want to say this was the first Halo game I ever played. Or at least played to completion. It was really good. I really want to go back and play the other ones. So, be ready for that in 2025. Hellboy, The Science of Evil. I want to give this an S, but I'm going to put it at A. Because, and I can't stress this enough, because this is another cliffhanger game. I hate when games do a cliffhanger and then nothing happens. Literally, that's it. They make the one game, that's it. It annoys me so much that this didn't get a sequel, because technically we never finished the first boss fight. If, again, this is one of those cases, watch the series I did on this, and you'll understand what I mean by we never finished the first boss fight. It aggravates me. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I'm giving a B. Because it... like I said, it wasn't a bad game, but the combat was very railroady. Like, you know those games where the person is in a cart and it gives you a gun and you literally just do this? It kind of felt like that, except your only options were to dodge and fire or block. And that just wasn't fun to me. The perfect Harry Potter game, in my opinion. You know what? I'll save that because we might get into that in 2025. Infamous. I'm going to give an A. Because it's an interesting idea what the ending was for the game. These reviews are getting more and more difficult because I can't tell the endings if someone hasn't seen them. And with the way my channel goes, most people haven't seen most of these games, or haven't seen most of these games in a while. But the idea that your future self comes back to cause an event to happen, to hopefully stop another event happening, It's a cool idea, but it's very confusing. And most of the time when people do that, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, the Lego games. Oops, I scrolled. The Lego games. I'm gonna give each of them an A. Because while yes, they're good games. I'm not gonna lie, they're good games. Unfortunately, as of recording this, I still don't have all the achievements for Lego Lord of the Rings. It's a long game. But each of them were amazing. However, I felt that the quirkiness of a Lego game kind of took away the magic of what these movies and characters were. Marvel Midnight Suns, I'm going to give an A because I think it's kind of dumb that they didn't tell the hunter the necklace around his neck is what is going to stop him from becoming a vessel for the evil Cthulhu god in the sky. And he just, because he doesn't have that knowledge, he just goes and, breaks it. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, I'm going to give a C. It's very weird that I actually said that. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance gets a C because, well, you saw what the story was. It was interesting to learn about the different aspects of the fighting styles, the quote-unquote endings connected to each character and their fighting style. But it was just far too long. Night of the Dead. Night of the Dead is going to get a B for me. It's a fascinating game. It's like Ark. It's Ark if you mixed Ark with The Walking Dead and took out the dinosaurs and all that. It's a fascinating concept. I believe they're still updating the game. I might return to it. I don't know. But I probably would not play it alone. I would have to get a couple of my friends to play it with me so we can maybe complete it. But, yeah. Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I'm giving a B. I would put it at A or S, but it gets a B because it did not have as many levels as the box said, or as the case said. So, yeah. Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, S. Zombies, cowboys, dang flaming apocalyptic horses. What's not to love? Rise, Son of Rome. I'm giving an A. Why I'm giving it an A? There was a lot of editing to do. That's the only reason it gets an A for me. There was a lot of stuff I had to cut out. Some stuff I left in because I didn't think it counted as anything. All in all, a good game. Just a lot to go through. Saints Row, I'm giving a C. The respect function, I hated. I hated the respect function because it's so dumb to me that you have to be at a high respect level to do missions, and even the missions don't give you respect, which is so weird to me. Because I would imagine the big missions would give you a huge amount of respect. But they didn't. Shrek the Third, I am going to give a C. There were some aspects. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. This is just my opinion of the game in whole. There were too many side things. Like, dang, Arthur's quest with the ice area, with the ice dragon, was so weird. And unnecessary, in my opinion. Sonic Unleashed, I'm gonna give a B. Because I remember loving the game, but I couldn't get into it at this current point. And I'm not holding that against it, so it gets a B. South Park Snow Day, that's gonna get an A for me. Because, again, it was a good game, but going 3D with a South Park game, while it's an interesting concept, it doesn't feel right as far as South Park. South Park is supposed to be the flat characters, the construction paper type things. Spider-Man 2. It gets an S. Are you surprised? S for Spider-Man. Plus, amazing. The Venom, the symbiotes, the entire different suits, the story. I cannot wait for Spider-Man 3, where hopefully we get Green Goblin and a whole bunch of other villains. Spider-Man Friend or Foe gets an A. It's a clunky beat 'em up. That's the long and short of it. It's a good game, clunky as heck. SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is gonna get a B for me because, oh boy, it was tedious as heck in some areas. Like when I had to, what was it? It was the cannonballs or something. I had to carry across like these very narrow paths that if I fell off, I fell in lava. TMNT, I'm gonna give an A. I love the movie. I know a lot of people did not like the movie from this game, but I liked it, and I liked the game. It was interesting to see the turtles kind of reflecting on what they've done. Vampire Rain, I'm gonna give a D. I now understand why this is classified as the worst Xbox game ever. Spider-Man Web of Shadows, S. I mean, the choices are just dang infinite. Or not infinite, but they're very revealing to a person's mind. Granted, I played it just as I thought would be funny. But the idea that you have to choose between being a good, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man or the Venom symbiote Spider-Man is a fascinating choice, because you can either be the bad guy and take over the world as the symbiote leader, or, be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and protect everyone. X-Men Destiny is going to get an A for me, because the idea that you're just a nobody in a crowd, and then this catastrophic event happens, and you get mutant powers, you have to learn to control them, you have to evolve your powers, and then, while all that's going on, you have to decide if you're with the X-Men or the Brotherhood in order to either overthrow humans and let mutants rule, or kind of make peace, all the while the dang mayor is a mutant in himself. It was a weird game, but really good. And lastly, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, The Beginning of Destiny. I'm giving an A. I'm giving an A because I kind of feel like I missed out on some things. This was a PS2 port of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force. And with it being a port, I feel like I missed out on a whole lot from the original Tag Force game. It was a good game, don't get me wrong. It was a really good game. I'm currently playing I'm doing behind the scenes stuff with the sequel, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force 2, and I plan to finish that game. But the beginning of Destiny was interesting because we got to battle all the way through to the Shadow Riders. And we beat... Oh, what was his name? I forget what the dude's actual name is. It's the dude in the water tube. Anyway, it gets an A. It was a fun game. It was interesting. I feel like I did it cheap by using elemental heroes. But, you know, hopefully that'll be something I rectify with the Tag Force 2. And that's it. That's all the games we've played this year. With this list, it kind of doesn't look like a whole lot. But I'm going to leave this one here. So thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you liked it, you know what to do. Keep things crazy. And I'll see you guys in the next one.